Hello everyone, today is a good day for making a demo video. So I'm going to show you a product, obviously because it's a demo video, and I have already loaded my Genesis9 figure. This is just the default mat because we're gonna load our own mats, and I already loaded the HDRI. It's the Peppermint Power Plant. You can find it in Polyhaven for free. So no need to necessarily buy an HDRI to get quality lighting. So first of all, let me just pop up the folder. And yes, the name is testing files in this case because it's my testing directory. I use it for testing bugs. But anyway, so what you're going to get inside the archive is your typical data folder, people folder, runtime folder, and the user manual folder. So those things are fairly useful. This is just a quick view of the whole material. Yeah, and let me just pop up the promo images because, well, you need to see whether you'll be wasting time or not. I wouldn't want you to stay around and just see what you don't want to see. So these are some renders I did. This is just the lighting. I didn't do any post work because frankly I can't do good quality post work with my work. Somehow it just ends up looking worse, and so I just leave it. And these are just the materials, just the characters, and yeah, photography based skin and a makeup system and a little bit more. So fingernails and a bonus dark skin. So the product's name is Ermine, as you saw, no doubt, and the dark skin is actually a play on the animal's identity, and it's called mink. So you can turn your Ermine into mink by making it, well, dark. And yeah, let's just quickly load the materials. And by the way, I have like the okay, let's give him some outfits, give them outfit, and yeah, so the first folder that you're going to see when you navigate to the contents is just your presets, your big presets. So the big character preset, the feminine variant, the masculine variant, the alternative face variant, and genitals presets, and also some nifty instruction cards. But we're not going to be using these because I want to show you the morphs first. So let's just load the materials. So you can see that you can have an option to turn off the displacement, and it's going to be present in the makeup shells as well to turn off the displacement. This is because you may want to use the materials on other characters, and this is supposed to work with other characters, but it will look the best with Ermine. And each skin tone comes with a female and male variants. Let me just make it wider because we're not using that space anyway. There we go. So with Ermine you get your general, like, you get your Uber shader, your PBR shader, and the Uber is like there, because some of the skin shading systems out there that you buy, they rely on you having an Uber material, and to save your time, you have an Uber material. And obviously, obviously I made it look good, just as good as the PBR in my opinion. Let me just load. And it's gonna be looking weird because of the displacements and the base shape. But here you can see the material. The eyes do not load on their own, because again the eye object is separate. Sorry about stammering here, but the eye object is separate, so you need to navigate to the eyes and pick your choice. So there's a variety, and again PBR and Uber options. So I'm just gonna load. Let's load the promo image not mink, but Ermine eyes, because Ermine is by concept, Ermine has dark eyes, and so you can see. And let's give them a hair. And this install, by the way, doesn't have anything you have to buy. The hair I'm going to load is actually free, and it's Zoro D's side swept hair. So let me just quickly load this on character. And the idea of Ermine was that I wanted a figure that could look good on both male and female. And used the male and female bases. So because I noticed that male and female bases, unlike the regular character morphs that you make, they actually bend better. So I wanted to take advantage of it. And plus having a base in general is very useful. Okay, because this is Ermine, well, we can put a material that's going to look neutral. Okay, black hair it is, because we're gonna show you the dark skin too. And yeah, and eyelashes and eyebrows should have dark color. Okay, this, and then this. Yeah. So dark hair, dark eyebrows. Let me quickly tweak the HDRI to be brighter, because this is a low exposition HDRI. Okay, this is blown out. Now we have it. Alright, so excuse the flickering at the top of the video. This is a Linux bug for some reason, so yeah, I'm running DAS on Linux, so, and I may cut the flickering at the top, like it's no biggie. Anyway, so I'm running DAS on Linux, so it doesn't perform quite as well as it would perform on Windows, but as you can see, it like loads fast enough. It loads into preview fast enough, and so yeah, maybe we're going to go less intense and just load one of the included Genesis9 hair. Cancel. There we go. And let's just load something less intense, because we want things to perform favorably to save time. And yeah, let's make the hair dark. Give them a black hair. And I say they, because Ermine, I never really thought of making Ermine either male or female or anything else. I just thought, well, here's a character, I want it to be flexible, you know. I want to have options. So we have our character prepped, and we're going to go to the shaping tab, and the easiest and quickest way to find Ermine's morphs is to type in the Ermine name, and you can see you have the body base, the feminine body, the masculine body, and it's all kind of confusing, to be honest. So the body base is part of the Genesis9 Ermine base, and this base basically is supposed to be a blank slate, sort of. It's used by the feminine morph and by the masculine morph, because I needed to tweak the shapes due to no figure looking good in just by being adjusted to one gender or other. That just doesn't work well. So as you can see, they just don't look particularly male or female. They could pass as either, I think. Maybe like my mind maybe is tricking me, but they look like they could be a female, but they're not. So this is the gender neutral base. You can start with that. You can use the morphs that you have already. It's nice and hand sculpted with hand sculpted anatomy. Let me just quickly show the back, because the back is something I am proud of, actually. I used my anatomy knowledge here to just, excuse the cat, but to just give some of that realism and muscle definition. Cat! Kitty cat is bored. As you can see, the muscles are quite nice, quite defined. Same on the arms, same on everything, and yeah, it's done so that the character would look good in any gender. So the abs, the arms, everything is sort of based on both men and women athletes, and yeah, it's kind of mixed. And if you load the masculine preset, you might find that the masculine preset is much more toned, much more bulky, and much more defined. Let me just masculine. Wrong slider, this one was at the body, but this is the full character, and yeah, you can see it's more defined and just yeah, masculine, and the facial features are also more defined, more sharper, more stronger made, and yeah, that's about it. Like, I kept in mind where the fat is distributed on men versus women, and let me just load the feminine morph. and you can see the feminine morph is softer. It has softer back muscle. It's overall like the arms are still strong, but the abs aren't as defined, and they're overall like akin to someone who has estrogen in their body. The face is also fuller and softer, so the cheeks are plumpier and less angular, and the lips are fuller, and yeah, overall it's just more feminine. And you can also mix these, so you can make your Ermine as feminine and as masculine as you want, because the next thing that's included that you will want to see is the first gender related thing is the hip. So you can adjust the anatomy bulge, make it bigger, more pronounced, or make it smaller. You can do that. And you can adjust the pelvic size. So as you can see, you can give them wide hips with thighs more apart, or the exact opposite. So depending on what you want, you can create any gender that you want. Now on the chest section you can find breasts to pecs slider, and this is just to change the breasts into pectoral muscle, so not necessarily flatten them, but to basically do what the masculine and feminine morphs do, which is change the entire structure of the anatomy in there. And you can give them breasts, so boobies, and these breasts are more natural than enhanced. So if you're going for a natural look, you could use this on female characters that you have, because it takes into account on what's going bigger if the breasts are bigger. Anyway, so let's check out the other morphs. So the first on the list is the face morph, and these are the alternative shapes. And the alternative shape variations are there really to make your cast of Ermines more diverse and unique. So if you want an African woman that's pale for some reason, there you have her. And you can of course turn them into a man, but we're gonna leave this into neutral territory. But yeah, so let's just leave them androgynous. But yeah, this is the African version as opposed to the European that is the default, and there's also East Asian variant to make your minds stand out. And you can mix these obviously. Again, I sculpted these on top of but because I sculpted these on top of Ermine's morph, they really won't look as good on other characters. But you can try, maybe it will turn out fine. And there's also an eyeball size morph. I usually for Ermine I set it to 30-25 because the eyeballs don't adjust to the morph. At least I haven't found how to make them, so I created a nifty slider. And you can see it looks decent. So the ears give you pointed ears. I'd show them, but the hair is in the way. And there's also an option to soften the thighs to give you more fat on the thighs. Not necessarily make them weaker or less muscular or chubbier, but to just make them less defined, because maybe you want a guy who doesn't have that definition on the legs. And same with the back muscles. Let me just rotate the light. Like, as you can see, the back muscles are quite in there, and you can soften these. Again, I maintain the muscle volume. I just filled in the dippets, and so the character looks more like, softer. It's good for, like, maybe you want a feminine character, feminine male, or masculine female. You can do the exact opposite and give more definition to the muscles. And yeah, this looks good. And let me just go to the chest. And the chest has the same slider. It makes the shoulders and chest softer. I left out the arms because I find strong arms to be very appealing visually. But yeah, you can soften the muscle definition here, and you can enhance it. And these ones can be used on other characters, but they really stand out when you use them on Ermine. And there's the fingernail morph to give some long nails. And I had to sculpt these as well, and it's actually not easy to sculpt nails. Then there's the belly soften morph that fills in the abs, or you can make the abs more defined. So, sorry, cats are causing havoc, but you'll have to bear with me. So yeah, these, you can make the abs more defined, less defined, and yeah, so make your Ermine whatever you want. And in the content library, let me just navigate. The first thing you read is these, and then you have the sections of geoshell makeup and materials, and we're going to look at the materials. So the first one is the skin and the anatomy. The genitals, I am not going to load genitals because YouTube hates nudity, but I am going to load, okay, do they have boobs? They have boobs. I'm going to load the feminine material. I'm gonna choose the PBR, and let's see how fast it loads from PBR, from Uber to PBR. Usually it takes some time. Oh, that was quick. I did not expect that. And yeah, you can see how the PBR looks. Kinda looks more detailed, to be honest. And you have an option for the mink material, so suddenly your stoat turns into a mink. And I chose to go really dark, because I found that there's not enough dark skin, like proper dark skin, like I'm not talking about medium skin. In the market there's very few of those. And yeah, another thing that I want to show you, and for this I'll need to load lighter eye material, is the eye realism morph. This one works with any character, and it's found under the eyeballs and the eye material, and as you can see, this adds more depth to the eyes without necessarily displacing the pupil. So this is a nice addition to your character. There's also teeth morph. Let me open the mouth for you guys. As you can see, the teeth are more natural and just overall like crammed. It's optional though, you can use something else for that. And this mink skin looks especially good with the alternative shapes, especially with the A. So let me just face. So this looks nice. This looks nice. I'm really proud of my work. So as you can see, she's beautiful. She, he, them. I keep thinking of them as she's for some reason. Maybe she's just an androgynous woman, you know. And the East Asian also looks beautiful as mink. You know, so you can definitely enjoy both figures, both materials. And there's the nail shader option. To be honest, I'm not quite thrilled with these, but I'm going to show you quickly the shader options. So as you can see, I loaded the fingernails. Let's just pick another option, maybe this one. I had to cut this, like I had to go away for a bit, so here we are. And this one's a beautiful one. I am quite proud of it. And yeah, it's full of glitter. It's kind of like a gemstone. It looks nice. And yeah. And it's pretty much the only nail polish that uses texture. Everything else is just shaders. And so let's just leave this on and we can move on to the makeup. So we can look at the Gel Shell makeup and you can see the various options for shell, contour, blush, eyeshadow, and the like. So you can pick one of these. You first load one and then you apply one of the base materials. So let's just quickly load something that's obvious, something that looks nice on its own. So eyeshadow. So right off the bat you can see that it's just a head. It's just a white head, and this is because you need to load the transparency maps and the shader and everything. using the base materials. So this is, let's navigate to the appropriate folder. In this case it's the eyeshadow, and let's give them something bright. So this, or maybe something muted. So this grayish purple. And you can obviously go to this surfaces tab and just tweak the living daylights out of the colors here. So you can change things around, and you can change the shape. There are theatrical options, more natural, everyday options, but generally Ermine is more of a high fashion, theatrical type of character. So they have those sorts of options. Let's leave this one. And the eyeshadows are actually based on animals. So some of these, this one is, I believe, a, I forgot the name, not the hawk, but the falcon. This one's the falcon, this one's the wolf that we have on, so that's cool. And you can tweak the metallicity of eyeshadow. So right now it's set to 0. We can make it to 25, 100, and you can see it doesn't look very metallic, but this is because you need to add either satin or gloss finish to give them the metallicity. And it's looking gorgeous, of course. And let's just tone down the metallicity to 25. And there's glitter options. You can make the glitter completely opaque, like this. I'll just pick green because I want to. So yeah, you can make the character have less glitter, fewer, like more sparse glitter. Or, you know, select just a twinkle of a few glitters here and there. And each layer has its own options, so yeah, be warned. You might not find something in the contour that you might find in the eyeshadow, whereas you can find things that are in the lips that are not in the blush section. So yeah, and then you can change the opacity of the eyeshadow. I didn't bother going lower than 50% because, well, it was too faint to my tastes. This is the 100%, and then we can go to the middle. But yeah, if something doesn't really satisfy you in terms of like opacity or color, you can always change that in the presets, because these are actually just shaders. The only texture they use is the transparency maps. And let me just quickly show you one of the presets, well, to showcase what you can do with Ermine's makeup. So presets, we can pick this, so something more in the face, called avant-garde, because it's extravagant and fabulous. And we can see this is really crazy. I really went in with this one, really fun. And something more classy is Nouveau. And Nuvo has like a very light blush because it was made for Ermine, not Mink, but we can actually fix that by going to face blush and selecting the dark red color and toning it down. So you can see it's quite the flexibility, I dare say. And yeah, that about sums it up. So this is Ermine. There we could say a beauty or not beauty, that's up to you. But this will be available in, if you can't find it in ShareCG yet, then it's waiting for the approval for sale, but soon enough you'll find it in ShareCG for like 30 euros. And yeah, thank you for watching and have a good day.